Hi everyone, this is Penny with In Stitches with Penny. Today I want to talk to you about cutting out your pattern on your fabric. Now there's so many tools you can use and I want to show you my favorites. Do get a good pair of scissors and only use them for cutting fabric. Make sure you keep them separate. My blue handle scissors are always the ones I go to and I know they're fabric only. The other ones I do get a Sharpie and I'll just write paper right on there. So if one of my family members wants to come in and borrow scissors for wrapping paper or something, then they know exactly which ones to get. But I'm a new fan of rotary cutters. Now, one thing you want to make sure is that your rotary cutter blade is sharp. If not, you're going to have troubles and things are just not going to cut just right, and then you're going to pull out your scissors and you're going to use those as well. So that's not what you want to do. My first rotary cutter that I purchased is this Fiskars one, and you can just get them at Joann's. And to turn it, to put the blade up, you just push up on this little lever, and then see on the back there's a button that pulls the blade back in. And if you want to change the blade, do it very carefully. Even a dull blade is very sharp to the skin. You just unscrew this right here. Right now it's not screwed in enough, but you unscrew that, things come apart, you put your new blade in, and away you go. So this blade is a little dull, and I need to replace it. This one I got at Hobby Lobby. I really like it. I like how simple it is to use. You know, this one is simple too. You know, it's probably a little more ergonomic, but this just has a handle that, I don't know, I really like this one. However, this blade is dull too. So I need to get a new blade. And again, there's a little screw back here. Just hold the front, unscrew it, and then your blade, everything will come apart, and then your blade will come apart. Just let it drop onto your mat and then put your new blade on. So be very careful with these. I just found a new one yesterday by Cricut. I didn't know Cricut sold rotary blades. They come in different sizes. This one is a 45. It's a roughly maybe 1.5 inches wide. This one's probably more like 2 inches wide, and it's a 60 millimeter, and it's by Cricut. And this one is super sharp. This might be my new favorite one. I was just cutting something out and it was just like butter. It just went through. I didn't have any extra little threads. It was really nice. Now this one is a little more expensive. This one was $24.95, I think, roughly $25. This one at Hobby Lobby was around $13, $14. Still a good one though. This one, I don't know, it feels nice, it feels like quality. And you know, when you're buying something for sewing, you want quality because you want it to last for a long time. So I'm not saying you have to go out and buy 3 rotary cutters. I just happened to buy, this one caught my eye and I just really wanted to try it. And I do like it. And Joann's has this on sale right now. I don't know how long the sale is, but 25% off. This one was about $25, and I thought that was a pretty good deal for Cricut. They had a 25% off sale, which is really rare, and the coupons never work for Cricut, so I was happy to get this on sale. But I really like it, and we're gonna go over, I'm cutting out a pattern that I purchased from Jaylee. It's a PDF pattern, so you're gonna see some craziness on the reverse side. Sometimes when I cut out PDF patterns, I reuse paper that's blank on the outside or blank on the other side, and I just reuse that. So I had cut out a Dr. Berg nutrition booklet, and apparently I wasn't using it. Sorry, Dr. Berg. And so I used the other side for the pattern. I can always print out his stuff later. But anyway, come on over and I'll show you how to cut with a rotary cutter. Okay, so you're gonna see here that I've already cut out one piece. You see I have it all laid out, and I'm gonna do the sleeve last. You can see this is how here's the front of the pattern, and I ended up flipping it over, and I marked my grain line. So, because this one was a little, it wasn't this way. The grain line here was just a little off center, so you can kind of see, just so it'll lay nicely on the body. So I went ahead and cut this one out ahead of time. I want you to see how nice and clean those edges are, and they're nice and straight. Now I did use pins. I've been on the fence about paperweights versus, or pattern weights versus pins, and I do go back and forth. So here's my weight, my pattern weights, and they're just washers you can get at Home Depot or Lowe's or any hardware store. Sometimes I find they're not heavy enough. I mean, I kind of want them to be this heavy, you know, where you've got 12 of them together. You can use coasters, even gym weights. I had 2-pound gym weights on here at one point. So just be creative. Soup cans work too. So you don't have to go out and buy anything fancy. So here's this one. And this is the Helene jacket that I'm making. And this is the fabric. I don't know if you remember, but in one of my pattern hauls, I got this fabric at Walmart for $1. Was it $1 or $2? $2 a yard, I think. It was really cheap. Okay, so here we're going to lay this one down. And I'm just going to pin it. I love these little magnetic pin holders. I don't know if you have one, but they're my favorite. I have two. I have one at my sewing table, and I have one over here at my cutting table. And they just make life a whole lot easier. Okay, so I've got it pinned down. And now we're going to cut it out. And you'll notice with Jaylee patterns, she puts the notches on the outside, which then I like it that way. And I used to do that in design school, because then you're not cutting into your fabric. Even if you do have a notch, let's say you have a notch on your fabric or on your pattern that comes down here, you can still come up and around on your notches. It's just really nice. So I like to keep, one thing I like to do, let's make sure, this one, they're all different. So this one, you push that to close it, pull down. This is the cricut. This is the cricut model. So that way it's closed. Always, always, when you're done with it, close it and put it away. You don't want little ones to grab it, because even if they grab it here, they still might be able to get cut. So we don't want that to happen. So let's go ahead and engage that. And I like to have my blade just to the right of my pattern. It just seems to work for me. You can come this way, but I don't know. I like to come back around this way. Okay, so let's start here. And you're gonna see I have that notch, and I'm gonna go in as far as I can with that. See how nice that cuts? And then I just kind of work my way around it. So you'll see how nice this cuts. I'm just pushing down slightly. Okay, now I'm ready to go around. Keep your fingers out of the way, but use them as a guide at the same time. Because one thing we don't want to do is push our fabric as we're cutting it out. So I'm just going to move that out of the way. It doesn't have to be all in one swoop. And they do have smaller ones. They have some that are like a 1/2 inch wide that would probably be really good for areas like this. But also, I just want to show you that you can maneuver it with the large one. This is the largest one that I've seen, is the 60 millimeter. And again, I like my pattern to be on the left because it gives me a guide. And I feel like it's more precise. Yeah, I think I want that. Oh, okay, so with Cricut, be sure you don't put your thumb right there. I don't know. No, I like it this way. Easy to do, not a big mistake. Then I just walk on the other side and cut along this other edge. And there you have it. Really, really simple. Okay, so why do I like this instead of scissors? Most of the time I do like the rotary cutter more than scissors. Because, oh, I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna put it away. Because when you have scissors, you're lifting the fabric as you cut, which sometimes can create a little jaggedness. So let's see, let's just cut, let's move this down the way. Now let's cut this one. I can already tell my edges are gonna roll on this. So my tip for rolling edges is to serge the edges. Now serging will take away here. Okay, so we want to make sure our grain line is perpendicular, or is parallel. I really like these J-Lee patterns. I actually saw an ad. No, it wasn't an ad. It was another post. Someone had made the Charlie bomber jackets, and I love a good bomber jacket. I'm actually wearing one right now. And so I thought, well, I'm gonna go check it out because I have a, see this fabric right here? I got it at Mood, and I made this for my daughter, and it was too big, but it fit me. So I kept it, bought more fabric, and I'm making her one. And I'm, making it a little bit smaller. And I really love the welt pocket on that pattern. So I'll put a link below so you can go check that out. Okay, so here we go. We're all, well, maybe one more. All right, so see how I'm lifting up? Now you have to be real careful that you're not lifting up too much with the scissors. Now this will work, and I did this for years and years and years because there wasn't any such thing as a rotary cutter. And you can get a straight edge. So this is another way to cut out your fabric, but just take your time. And I do like the pins just a little bit better when you're using the scissors. It seems to hold it in place just a little bit. What happens, when you buy cheap fabric, it's going to roll. It just will. Okay, so we've got part of it cut out. And now we just have to go down this line around here. But my biggest tip for you is just take your time and don't be pulling on it. Just slightly pull it up. Because we want the fabric to match the pattern exactly, because everything will go together nicely if it's even. So either way you choose, just take your time. See, I didn't want to really pull that. I just want to keep it in place, but I don't want to pull on it. And it's just maneuvering through here. When I was young and I was sewing, I hated cutting things out. I don't know why. I just wanted to get to the sewing. Now, I don't know, I just like for it to be accurate and even, and I tend to take my time. So you can kind of see where I'm struggling a little bit right here. Now, if you'll notice, when I cut out with scissors, I like my pattern to the right side. When I'm using my rotary cutter, it's the opposite. I like to use the pattern as a guide, and then the pattern's on the left side. I don't know if you have favorite sides of cutting out, but I sure do. Okay, so you'll see it's cutting out just fine as long as you take your time. And again, don't tug on it, just keep it in place. All right, so there's 2 pieces already cut out, and I have, let's see, no, 3 pieces. Awesome. And this fabric didn't have a nap, which means you could go either way, this way or that way. Usually I like all my pattern pieces to go one direction. In this one, it really didn't matter. So there you have it. Those are my tricks for using a rotary cutter or scissors. Let me know what you like to use best, or if there's another method. Maybe there's another method out there that I don't know about. And please share with me. I hope this video helped you decide if you want to try out a rotary cutter or not. Be sure you have a mat. The mat is one of the most important pieces because you want to feel free to really dig down into that mat. If you did it on your dining room table, you'd have a whole new design on top of your dining room table, and you would dull your blade. You don't want to do that. So my favorite one right now is the cricut, and to use the cricut, to engage, pull the lever down. You can see that it's engaged, and then push up, or just push that little blue button to put it back in place. Always remember to put them back in place and put them way up high so the little ones won't get them, or put them in a locked box. You just want to put them somewhere where they won't start playing with them, because they will cut themselves and it will just be awful. Now this is the one I got at Hobby Lobby. This is my cheapest one. I still love it. It needs a new blade. So you'll know when it's dull, because it just won't cut all the way through even though you're pressing down a lot. And this one just has one simple lever here. Just pull down to engage and then push back up to disengage. And then the fiskars has the little button on the side, which I like. Push the lever down, then you can go ahead and cut, and then back on the side. So they all are very unique. Right now, this is my sharpest one, so I like the cricut. I didn't know Cricut sold rotary cutters. I'm not sure why, they sell everything else. But it just caught my eye when I was at Joann's yesterday, and I bought it, and I do love it. So I want to go back and see if I can find a really small one to get in those little intricate spaces. That's where it becomes difficult with the rotary cutter if you have a large one. This is the 60 millimeter. This is the 45. You can kind of tell there's about, I don't know, I would say 3/4 of an inch difference. So always have a good pair of scissors for fabric only. My blue handles are for my fabric, and then these are for my paper, and you'll see that I just wrote paper on there. So let me know what you like to do. Are you a rotary cutter fan, or do you just like to use scissors? So stay tuned, like and subscribe to my channel, and I will talk to you soon. Bye.